Hello, everyone. It's episode 75 of the General Damage Podcast.
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
It's hot. It's too hot.
Yeah, dude, I thought I could beat this fucking hot weather when I went to Oregon. No, the answer was no. The hot weather that we're currently experiencing was like the hot weather I was experiencing in Oregon. And I was thankful every day with that the place we were staying at was on the coast. But even then, 89-ish on the coast doesn't fix it. No matter how much wind that's there.
The problem right now is there's wind.
I know. Fuck. If there was like any form of wind, it would help.
Yeah, for sure.
God.
But yeah, you know, it's September, end of August when it's like a heat wave.
Yeah.
You can set a fucking clock to it. And it was always when school starts. School starts, boom, 85. Or like 95. And it sucks when you're in the Campbell Union School District. Yes, I'm going to call them out. And back when I was a student, they crammed us in those classrooms.
Oh, yeah. Chatting with my younger sibling, Eric, since he's part of the Campbell Union High School District. Yeah, I think you said one of his class is like 30-plus-ish students in a room. That's fucking miserable.
I think my economics class in senior year was 40-something.
God, that's awful.
We were jammed in there. And the dumbest thing was that the teacher had all these like file cabinets and bookshelves on one side, which took up like basically a row of desks. So we were even crammed even further. Like the aisles, every aisle. I'm a big dude, I was big in high school. I'm still big now. But the aisles were maybe a foot wide. So I'd either have to turn sideways. So either someone's going to get my ass or someone's going to get my crotch. And it wasn't fun for me.
Oh, yeah.
And it sucked. So yeah, I mean, I had to deal with that. And it's like, again, first day of school, 95 degrees. We're all passing out. Like, can we go outside? Well, there's air. There's no air here. That has to be some child endangerment shit right there. If you don't have AC and you're cramming 45 kids into a fucking room,
it really is
definitely not safe.
No. It's a health hazard that OSHA would have a field day with.
I'd like to think any federal agency would have a field day with because you're technically endangering minors.
Oh yeah.
So real quick on the intros.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm Nick.
I'm Will.
And I'm Shane.
Yeah, 3 minutes in. That's good.
That's not too bad. Real quick though, can I just say one thing? It's really hot over there for you guys. Over here, we are for the first time experiencing an unnecessarily cold August.
Really?
Yeah, it's been like lower 60s, almost 50s out here.
Oh,
Whoa.
I'm so jealous.
And dude, here's the thing though. Like, I work at an ice cream shop.
Oh god, you're frozen.
Not even that. It's just like it's killing business.
Yeah.
Like my boss is like, this has been the most messed up and worst summer I think I've ever had. It rained on Memorial Day, right?
Yeah.
All of July was just like up and down on like whether or not it was raining, which is weird because July's a pretty dry month for us. Mm-hmm. And now, like near the end of August, we're already dipping into the cold. Where like it shouldn't be this cold until the end of September.
Wow.
And it's just
That's
like
awful.
Oh yeah. Granted, I still have to sit in the car and listen to Howie Carr talk about how climate change isn't real. But hey, tell that to all the summer businesses.
Yeah.
I'm like,
tell it to the Pentagon. All right,
Yeah.
Let's be real. Who's talking about what's real and what isn't?
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's weird that it's not necessarily hot in California, but it is weird that it's been hotter than normal because usually it levels out around this time of year.
About this time, like maybe 80s to 90s.
Yeah, like it's normal to have a heat wave the first week or week and a half of September.
Yeah.
But like it's this hot is bad.
Yeah. This is a miserable heat. Like 100 degrees in August, like end August, early September is fucking awful.
Sounds gross.
It's very gross. But the only thing is, because it's August and because it's the end of August, there is the tiniest, it doesn't really count for the next 4 or 5 days, but there's a tiniest bit of relief in the sense that the sun sets, like, I think 7:30 now.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That sounds pretty good.
It's not too bad. Though I'm like, man, my aunt's party in the middle of September or close to the end of September, it better be fucking just give me 70, you know? Just fucking give me 70. I started walking recently because it was just something I can do because I've been very lazy and forgetting to hop on my bike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I've just been walking like a mile a day. I can't walk in this.
No, it sucks.
I mean, I could, but then I need another shower, and I don't want to fucking do that.
Right.
Yeah, it sucks. The whole thing sucks. And I can't be on my computer as much as I want to, and I'm trying to beat Wolfenstein on my Xbox, and I'm like 2 chapters away from beating that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, dude, you're gonna enjoy the ending. Well,
I hope. Right now I'm very pissed off because I don't like fighting the London robot thing. I can kill its first stage, which is shoot the eye and then kill the turrets on it.
Yeah.
But it's getting underneath the fucking thing that's driving me up the wall.
No, I understand what you mean. I have not played it, but I've watched gameplay of that fight. That is a rough boss.
Well, he is not so rough. Like, yeah, he can one-shot me. I'm fine with that. I don't mind a boss that can one-shot you. What I mind is because you use these sewer systems underneath everything, and they have like supplies, and you can recharge shit and get ammo and whatever. What I mind though is because as he's shooting stuff up, he's tearing up the landscape so he can find you in the sewers. Mm-hmm. So once you get to the second part of him trying to beat him, which is killing his exhaust port underneath him, you are like, I'm running up trying to like dodge and weave out of the gunfire, and the flames are shooting out, and get up underneath him. And right when I get up underneath him, I'm like trying to walk, like looking up, and I'm shooting up at him. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, I fall into a hole, and like I missed my shot. So that keeps happening to me. So it's like the environment right now is what's killing me.
Yeah.
I was playing for like 4 hours, just getting frustrated because I would fuck up doing that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I can't keep playing, otherwise I'm just gonna break this controller, and my headache's getting worse. I have to stop.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah, I'm hoping to beat it soon. And I'm gonna beat it, and then I'm probably gonna set it down for a minute. I know, Shane, you said play the other timeline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
And then I have Battlefield 1 I would like to try out. So, nice. I'm gonna retry that. And oh shit, I just realized that the beta, I think it's this weekend? I need to look it up. The beta for Call of Duty World War II is out this weekend.
It's either been out or is going to be out.
Yeah, well, it's been out for PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
The beta that I'm talking about is going to be for everything.
Gotcha.
So and I want to give it a go. Mm-hmm. I'll get my ass handed to me, but I like to give it a go.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm looking it up right now, and my Kindle's like slow as shit. And there's Slick crashes. Hey, Slick, you piece of shit. Yeah, so looking forward to that-ish, just to see how it is, because a lot of people are saying, hey, this is actually a good Call of Duty multiplayer. It's not so bogged down.
That's what I have heard, is the multiplayer is actually very good.
Yeah.
Good on it. It is going back to kind of a quote-unquote simpler formula. You're not dealing with enhanced humans or fucking wall running everywhere or picking some weird class with some super ability. It's just you're going with you're a sniper, your support, you're a soldier, keeping it simple.
The beta begins tomorrow.
Cool.
The thing about that with COD,
mm-hmm.
and it's just constantly upping its multiplayer stuff. So I like watching these food videos that have been popping up on Facebook and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically just like a fast forward of them making stuff, which I'm fine with. It's neat to watch a cake being made in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So I was watching one. I'm like, wow, that looks like a really good cake. And then they're showing the steps, and everything. Mm-hmm. And then they started to do. I'm like, wow, that looks like a really good cake. It was like a chocolate cake or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, I like that. I definitely fucking eat that. And it was like 3 or 4 layers.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not bad. And then they added I forget what it's called, but basically they took frosting and put like it around the edge in a decorative pattern. Mm. I'm like, okay, cool. And then they took another type of frosting and put like mounds of it in like around on the top, and then another decorative pattern in the middle of it, and more like they kept building it up and up and up, and like they put marshmallows on it, and they toasted the marshmallows on it, and then they put like some chocolate sauce all over it. I'm like, okay, stop.
I was like, the cake started off pretty good, and what the fuck happened to it?
Just stop. Call of Duty is basically that cake, or it's that person that's like, you've had too much plastic surgery.
Ugh.
You were fine a while ago. Yeah. You were fine before all of that.
You wanted your ears to be a little more symmetrical. Fine. You didn't really need to do anything with your cheeks, your eyes, your lips. You fucking look like Frankenstein. Yeah. He's a prettier mug.
And now you can't blink or cry.
Yeah. You look like you're permanently smiling, and I can't tell if you're like happy or sad.
Exactly, and that's how I feel about COD. They just kept adding and adding and adding, and it's like, okay, stop.
Yeah.
Just like, kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
And that's what they had with the original Call of Duties. That's why they're such a big hit, and they sold so fucking well, and now it's just too much.
And looking at Battlefield, they also took the same approach. The game just got too complicated for what it needed, and now it kind of went back to a older kind of concept, and people have been really happy with it. And I think it's definitely, looking at the campaign, feels very unoriginal. Which sucks.
I mean, there's a lot of places we could have gone other than fucking Europe again.
Yeah, but going simpler, I think, will be better for them in the long run. So kudos to the people that decided on that. Like, that's
for sure
very, very good thinking.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll give you guys a report of what I think of the beta down the road.
Sure.
Because I'll be melting, but I'll play it.
Well,
I'm hoping my Xbox doesn't mind the heat that much. That has made me a little worried.
But to continue on this trend of going back to kind of old stuff, Capcom's re-releasing Street Fighter 2 in a SNES cartridge with the help of I Am 8-Bit. And I sent you guys a link on our Facebook chat, what it looks like, and it is one version of it. The non-limited edition version of it is a bright red SNES cartridge.
That is dope looking.
It is super dope looking. The box that it comes in is very retro.
That's beautiful.
Very old school. The limited edition version of it is apparently I think it's a green cartridge that it's like, they call it Blanca green, and it glows in the dark, which is fucking cool.
I love everything about this, and I'm not even that good at Street Fighter.
Right?
Ditto.
We were talking before we started recording about, there's this kind of, there's always been a trend of looking back in years, going back to retro stuff, and this people's love of retro. This is such a cool embodiment of it, and doing it newer but also older at the same time, reinvigorating that kind of that love and appeal that our generation had when this shit came out when we were younger. Not everybody not everybody owned a SNES, not everybody owned a Sega, not everybody could buy shit like this, and as adults, $100 for this dark green glow in the dark limited edition Street Fighter 2 30th anniversary cartridge. That's fucking cool. That's something like is awesome to look at. I'd even want the red version of it, and that just is very nice and bright and simple.
Is it like a USB thing, or
no,
does it have a CD inside it?
It can sit in a SNES.
Oh, okay.
It's an actual memory card.
SNES.
Yeah, yeah, that shit is fucking great. And
you know, again, it's cool when they do stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's really neat. Granted, I know that there's a lot of collectors out there. Like, they're obviously the true target audience.
Oh,
like
of course.
The diehard fans. But the one thing is, like, at least Capcom, in a lot of years, you could criticize them for not being the smartest company.
Sure.
This was brilliant. This is fucking genius. Like, you want to sell something to collectors for once that they're not gonna, like, be completely pissed about. Mm-hmm. This is it.
The company that's helping them do this, I Am 8-Bit, they kind of said in the Kotaku article, or I guess one of the writers said, this isn't the only cartridge that they want to do. I think they want to do kind of a bunch of them. And then, of course, you have to talk with the developer of it first and get their approval to do something like this. But, I think it if I were a developer and someone came to me and was like, hey, we'd like to re-release X cartridge of your old generation, I mean, I don't see why not. Like, that's money in your pocket, and you said the die-hard collectors will want to buy it, and they'll spend just about any amount of money on it to get it.
True.
And there are these consoles that can read just about any cartridge setup these days, so you don't even need to own a SNES. You just need to get one of those things to be able to kind of have that right nostalgia trip. So yeah, like, in the grand scheme of things, $100 isn't anything crazy. This is like,
it's actually super cheap.
$100 is fucking reasonable as hell.
It's
that.
like pre-ordering a collector's edition these days.
I'm just a little shocked that I just read 30th anniversary edition.
Right?
The fact that Street Fighter is 30 years old.
It's crazy.
God damn.
It's one of those things.
I know.
Yeah, no, it is.
It definitely, again, that's why it speaks to our generation, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So I seeing this, like, I played this at a friend's house because he had a SNES, but and I had a Sega growing up. This is one of those things, like, if I saw this company wanting to re-release fucking Sonic and Knuckles cartridge, and it still is compatible with any Sonic 1, 2, or 3 cartridge, that would also be like, that would be kind of that I'd have that same kind of feeling of, oh my god, I would love to have this.
Right.
Like, it'd just be such a great fucking trip. So I like seeing companies do this.
It is.
Stuff.
Speaking of collector's editions, something I showed you, Will.
Oh god. Whoa.
So, like, $100, not that bad for this thing. This thing is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
So, as we've talked about before, me and Will are pretty big fans of the Warhammer 40k universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's the art, it's the style, and everything like that. So, a company that does sculptures and statues and busts of figures of people, essentially, teamed up with a company that did Space Hulk Deathwing, which apparently is out on PC. It doesn't come out for consoles, I think, sometime this year.
Mm-hmm.
So they came out with a Space Hulk. It was a Terminator, which is a elite space marine.
Yeah, they're in the,
and it's got a couple
armor.
Yeah, it's got a couple different detachable heads, so you can like take off the human-looking head, put the helmet on. There's also another helmet that has gouges in it, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah,
but the thing is like $800.
Yeah.
It's 1/4 scale, and I looked at like its stats. It's 29 inches high and 26 inches wide.
It's huge.
It's fucking nuts.
That's kind of gross.
It's disgusting, but at the same time, I want it.
I mean, I'm not going to fault you for wanting it, but that is kind of insane. Like,
oh yeah. No,
well, Will said it is like, where the fuck would I put this?
Right? I don't like, thinking about my house, thinking about any like normal person's house or fucking your apartment, Nick. Where the fuck would you put this thing? It chews up too much space.
I don't fucking know.
Also, it's $800. It's made out of some like really solid material.
35 pounds.
Yeah.
It's 35 fucking pounds.
God, it's such a behemoth. This is one of those things that, like, if I had a fountain in my front lawn, I'd mount him right on the fountain and change up how my fountain looks like. That he was standing on like the bodies of fucking Tyranids, so it would look appropriate. But god damn, I couldn't like fathom where the fuck I'd put it.
Yeah, I don't know where I put this either. I mean, it's just one of those things that came across my feed, and I'm like, I have to look at this, and then all of a sudden I realized 1/4 scale. What is? Oh shit, that's huge. And then like I looked at the stats on it. I'm like, that's ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous. Like, god damn, props to make it. It's beautiful work, but Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, no, it is impressive. If you are kind of a diehard 40K fan to any capacity, like it's worth looking at. It's worth oogling over. It's worth wanting to have such a thing. But damn, it's not worth buying.
It's not. It's as close. I oogled at this one statue of Predator that was at Legends Comics back when it was in the mall.
Yeah.
And the statue, I want to say, was probably about the same height.
Okay.
Probably a little over 2 feet. It was just a super awesome looking sculpture of a statue of Predator.
Yeah.
And I love Predator. And I think they were selling it there for like $900, if not more.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just one of those things that's like, man, I would love this, but I have no idea where the fuck I would put it.
Right.
And I'd want to put it somewhere. I don't want to hide. You spent $800 on this motherfucker. You ain't hiding it.
You don't hide it for two reasons. A, it's impossible to hide it, and B, like, it's such a fucking interesting piece that it just becomes a focal point of talk and conversation.
Yeah.
Real quick,
and one of the helmets has LEDs.
Yeah.
Can we take a step back for a second?
Yeah.
No, granted, like, that sounds awesome, but you reminded me earlier, Will, about something about collectibles, right? And re-releases and things like that. So, really quick, really short, because me and my friend were joking about this. In September, Game Freak is going to release Pokemon Gold and Silver, the original versions, for the virtual store for 3DS.
Again?
Well, no, they're like, instead of redoing it like Heart Gold and Soul Silver, this is like Red and Blue and Yellow. Mm-hmm. It's just a classic game on the virtual console. That's not the big deal.
Okay.
The big deal is that in Japan, if you pre-order the game, or not pre-order, but you get like a special release of the game that comes with a code, and you get a Game Boy cartridge magnet of what the original Japanese release looked like.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Do you know what America gets? We get
Nothing.
fucking boxes. Literally paper boxes with codes inside that are just basically the original Game Boy Color boxes.
Weak.
Not even joking.
Fucking lame. That thing is
very
so
weak.
just like
I was like,
shreddable.
Do you know what it gets me though? Is it's like the game is going to cost about maybe somewhere between $5 and $10, I think, at most. Right?
Sure.
And obviously, me and my friends are like, yeah, we'll get them because we can't play the originals anymore. Sure. And, it's got all this updated stuff. I'm like, are you going to... I saw look at my friend Derek, I'm like, are you going to buy a fucking paper box? He's like, no. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck? Why even print them? Who wants that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Like
it's so getting shafted.
But dude,
why
but
wouldn't
I
you
would be
come
all
with
over
it?
those fucking fridge magnets. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I would too if I were a fan.
Yeah.
It's just like what?
You want to hear something else?
Sure.
Yeah. You want to hear something else that America kind of gets shafted at?
Sure.
So Star Trek Discovery's coming out
Yeah.
Okay.
soon, and to watch it here in the U.S., you have to do the CBS Access thing, which is like $5 a month or some shit.
Gross.
But anywhere else in the world, you watch it through Netflix.
What?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's
Anywhere else in the world. Maybe Canada. I think Canada also has to do the CBS thing. But any other country watches Star Trek Discovery through Netflix.
That's so asinine.
that's gross.
I know, it's bullshit. I fucking hate it. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure people are going to gripe at it now.
Oh, yeah.
But it's this thing. It's like we're in the binging age. So it's like, waiting week to week. No.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was kind of driving me nuts with Game of Thrones. It was just waiting week to week.
Right.
But, since I mentioned that, something I mentioned to Will last week, I realized that none of us really watched the same thing. TV wise, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like you two don't watch Game of Thrones. I think you both don't watch Walking Dead. I don't watch Mr. Robot. Will does.
Mm-hmm.
We're just into the different things in that sense. But I watch Game of Thrones because I like the fantasy and I think the world's interesting. Season 7 just wrapped up last Sunday.
Right.
This past Sunday, as we record this past Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
They could have stretched another 3 episodes. They could have.
Yeah.
For them to constantly say, "Oh, we don't have enough material." No, you have material, asshole. But this is the first season where no major character dies.
Right. I heard about that.
Yeah.
And I heard that was a big gripe of many people.
Well, I mean, there was in the episode Beyond the Wall, which is a really good episode.
Mm-hmm.
They had red shirts. They had actual people, just no names, no voice. They just died.
Right.
And there was two moments where two different characters could have died.
Right.
One could have fallen off a dragon,
Mm-hmm.
which would have been very telling for another character, and it would. I think it would have been beneficial.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another character could have died by getting killed by the Army of the Dead, which is how I think the character would have gone. He wanted to go at swinging kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they didn't. The guy was caught before falling off the dragon, and the other dude was saved.
Mm.
And it's just, yeah. I did enjoy the episodes. At the same time, there was just things that were bugging me.
Right.
Like there was a great twist at this episode, but at the same time, it bugged me because I didn't like seeing two characters fight.
Mm.
Or have this dance like around each other that you think they hate each other, and although they don't hate each other, they're conning one other person. Fine, but it just felt like mistakes were made.
Yeah, I think I think to quote Blaine from RTA, I think he said, "I wish they had the balls to kill someone," and I'm like,
yeah,
that's really telling when people are like that ticked off.
Considering that when this show began, it killed Sean Bean's character at the end of the fucking first season, and he was the main character.
Yeah.
Like, we were following his story. And they killed him.
Right.
And you're kind of like, what the hell? And then, like, two seasons later, they kill another 3 characters.
Right.
That were main characters. So, yeah, it's very telling. And now it's like, oh, we have all these characters and we're getting some fan service. It's like, they just won't kill anyone.
It's such garbage.
Like, there were so many opportunities. Like in the battle on the train, there's this huge epic battle with the dragon shows up and, like, it burns all these people. Actually, Game of Thrones set a record for most stuntmen on fire for that episode. Like, 20 people on fire at once.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was nuts, but it was a great episode. It was a fantastic episode. But one of two characters should have died. Either Jamie should have died or Bronn should have died, and there was moments where both of them should have fucking died by a dragon.
Yeah.
But one dodged out of the way, one got pulled out of the way. And it's like, no, let him die. Well, it's kind of a disappointment. There are fan favorites. I totally get fan favorites. I have fan favorites. But we're living in this world that is supposed to be very, very realistic.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Oh, yeah.
You know? We got the shock at the end, like, oh, okay, Jon Snow is not Jon Snow. He's actually the son of Rhaegar, who's a Targaryen. And, oh, yeah, guess what? Daenerys is his aunt.
Yeah.
All right. So we've known that we've known some of that shit since season 5. All right.
It's not really much of a shocker.
It isn't at this stage in the game. It's not.
You know,
it's not.
If I could just say one thing, which is because my cousin and I, when he was visiting from Japan, we had a talk about this. Granted, we were talking about manga, but I think the rule still applies, which is you should not be afraid to kill characters in respect that if they are important enough to affect the story, then their deaths will be equally important.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's sometimes killing a character, right? It can suck. But if it actually has driving force, it could overall be healthier for the story.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, it's also kind of like debatable whether or not you should kill someone. Like, if you're just killing people for the sake of killing people, it's like, well, that's boring, and, no one survives.
Yeah, but in this case, it will mean the reason why Ned Stark, Sean Bean's character, dies in the first season sets the next 2 to 3 seasons in motion.
Oh, yeah. No, his death is the driving force behind, like, half the cast.
Yeah. I mean, it starts with a death. And that death leads to other things, leads to this plot to uncover everything, and the next thing we know, the War of the Five Kings happens. Like, it's a constant moving forward with it. And now it just feels like there's nothing moving forward. And it's frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. It's cool to see the things you want to see happen, but right now it just kind of feels like how I imagined it would have gone down. It's like, well, I've seen this. Yeah. And it just doesn't work sometimes. It's cool, but it doesn't work. Cool. I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens at next summer when the last season comes out. Sure. But I don't really like the fact that the creators of the show saying, "Oh, well, we don't have enough material." No, you have the material, motherfucker. You could have made this 10 episodes.
It sounds like it is suffering from kind of the same thing that happened with Dexter.
What's that?
I mean, just like the fact that it just kind of it didn't feel like the writers really thought out enough. Like they didn't formulate it enough, and they're just kind of like, well, we have to keep these characters so that when we finish the show that they exist and we can just kill off everybody at the end, so it's exciting, right? People will love that, right? Nah, fucking kill off people. It's okay. Deaths are good in stories. Like, we read books where people die, and we're happy that they do because it's interesting and it moves other characters' stories.
In heroes' stories, the wizard always dies. The mentor always dies.
Oh, yeah, the mentor always dies. It has to.
Obi-Wan dies. Merlin dies.
Qui-Gon dies.
Qui-Gon dies. Dumbledore dies. Yeah. And that is so the character, the main hero of the character, can fucking move forward. Right. And in this sense, that's what Game of Thrones happens. The father, the Lord of Starks, the father of these 6 kids, dies. Yeah. That pushes everyone forward.
Yeah, they all kind of do their own things after that point.
Yeah. So it's important, and that just happens constantly. You could say Jon Snow has another father figure who's the Lord Commander. He gets betrayed and killed by other people of the Watch. Yeah. So Jon Snow wants to avenge the Lord Commander, his Lord Father, almost, as he kind of put it to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he said in the episode, we're all brothers, and if we are all brothers, and Lord Commander Mormont was our father. And they go out and they fucking kill the bastards that betrayed them. So that's the point.
Right.
It's character driven, and there's nothing driven. It's just like the Night King's coming. The Night King's coming. Hey, we have to tell people the Night King's coming, and no one's believing it. And I get that motivation, but like they should have gone to that meeting bitter because they lost two of their friends to prove to Cersei, who's just being a stuck-up bitch. Mm-hmm. This is what's happening. This is what's real.
I have to say, I did like that one scene though, where the Hound's standing there with the crate. Yeah, and he fucking kicks it over, and a zombie runs out, and I was like, "Oh, that's fucking hilarious." Actually,
when he did that, I'm like, and he's standing there, and he's like scared, and he's like looking in at it, and I'm like, "Oh shit, it died. It rotted away. It's no longer moving." Crap, they're not going to believe him now. And then he kicked it over and it shot out. I jumped. It was a great scene.
Yeah.
But like the Hound, the actor who plays him has done comedy, so he's acting scared or something like that. It's kind of a bit buffoonery.
Yeah,
that's the vibe I get because he's very funny. He's a very funny dude. Corey, I think is Rory something. He was on Hot Fuzz. You don't recognize him because I think his character is bald in that film. But yeah, he was fantastic in that. So, but that scene was amazing. But again, that scene should have come with they paid a cost, and he didn't. But yeah, I still like Game of Thrones. I would like to binge it. Either one person who likes it just as much as me, or by myself. Because this is a show I don't think I can watch with a bunch of people, because the same jokes be saying over and over again, and that's the reason I avoid Twitter. Because it's just the same shit.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. So, but yeah, I want to move on to something else. I want to move on to some movies. So I saw two movies thanks to HBO, or just movie channels in general. I saw Hacksaw Ridge and I saw Passengers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about Passengers before and how it has this creepy vibe.
Yeah.
And it does. And I realized half the time most of that creepiness is dedicated to the fact that one, I already knew the story, and two, Chris Pratt kind of just gives off a creepy vibe. He just does.
Yeah.
I feel for him though. Like most of the way through that story, I do feel for him. Like he just stops grooming, so he gets this really shaggy beard. He stops cutting his hair. He just looks disgusting. He just eats constantly. He drinks constantly. At one point, he's gonna kill himself, and he doesn't do it. But I do not think he should have opened up Jennifer Lawrence's pod and woke her up, because it just makes him. It just puts him in the wrong, and no matter what, she forgives him. She forgives him in the end, which I don't think she should have done. But she kicks the crap out of him in one scene. She comes to his quarters in the middle of the night. He wakes up and she just beats the shit out of him.
I mean, he earned it.
He does earn it. He does earn it in the film. It's an interesting story. But again, like the whole creepy guy who's just lonely, they should have done away with that. It would have been much better if she awoken from her stasis pod like him, and then found him disheveled, stinking, drunk, instead of cleaned up.
Yeah.
It would have been a much better story. I would have enjoyed it a lot more.
Well, then it would have been like a real story about survival and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead, it was just a fucking like a stalker victim's worst nightmare.
It was exactly. I mean, she's running and he's talking to her through an intercom system, trying to explain himself, and it's like, stop. That's just bad. That's wrong. That's so wrong that she can't even get away from the fucker. Yeah,
no, it sucks.
Yeah, it really does suck. Martin Sheen was pretty good in it, though. He played the bartender, the robot bartender. Yeah. I thought he was really cool in it. But it's a good sci-fi movie. It's just they should have gone with a different premise. It should have been two people stranded instead of one person stranded who strands another. That's what I think, anyway. Yeah. But the other movie I saw was Hacksaw Ridge.
Which I hear is very good.
It is very good, but there's two things about it. One, British people should not do Southern accents. But it's also atypical of a World War II movie. You hit the points, you know?
Yeah.
They literally, in the barracks, they literally go, that guy's Italian, that guy's a show-off, that guy's from New York, that guy's Irish, that guy's this, that guy's that guy's Indian. And they just, it's like literally verbatim. That's everyone. And it just gets like, I don't care. I really don't care. I really didn't care about the whole point of it was that he was a pacifist and he was being turned into an outcast for that. Mm-hmm. That he didn't want to pick up a rifle and kill. And his reasons why he doesn't want to do that were interesting, but it made him a bit too I don't want to say self-righteous, but like he was he was so noble of him that he didn't kill. It wasn't really noble of him that he didn't kill. It was just he didn't want to kill, but he also wanted to enlist in war. Yeah. To help the cause. However he helps the cause. It was a good movie, but at the same time, I was like thinking of watching it, especially the first battle scene, and I'm like, I think this is what they call desensitized.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's a guy who just has his feet mangled and they're, like, hanging off and chunks of it are falling off, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Rough.
Yeah, it's rough, but I'm like, I wasn't grossed out by it. Mm-hmm. There's a night scene where you see a bunch of rats dining on the dead.
Wow.
That was kind of gross, but, like, it's not as... It was not that impactful. It wasn't like I saw Saving Private Ryan at the D-Day scene, and that guy who's holding his intestines screaming for his mother, that got to me. But this didn't get to me. It's a great movie. It is a great movie. But it just...
Isn't it based on like a true story too?
It is. Desmond Doss is a real guy. He is a real guy who is barely 140 pounds, and he did save his sergeant... who was over 6 feet tall and 2-something.
Wow.
By himself. I mean, it's astounding. He Desmond Doss, the real guy, is the only person in the U.S. military history to be awarded the Medal of Honor without firing a shot. And he saved 75 men.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he did a lot. It was crazy the amount of shit he did, but I would have preferred it better if he was in Okinawa and they had flashbacks. Because we literally got, he meets his future wife, and there's this period piece, and he's flirting, and it's Andrew Garfield, so he's doing the cockeyed... I fucking hate what he does. If you've seen Spider-Man, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But it's that part, and then it's this whole thing where he has beef with his dad, who's played by Viggo Mortensen.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, who's a World War II vet, a World War I vet.
Okay.
And he's a drunk, and the two reasons why he's a pacifist is because, one, he almost killed his dad. No, he almost killed his brother when they were young. And then the other reason is his dad was a drunk and almost killed someone else, his mom, I think, by shooting a gun.
Jesus.
So it was those things that he's like, I can't kill, I can't hold a weapon, I can't kill anyone. And he got the crap kicked out of him in basic, but it's a good movie. It just hits on tropes that are like, I've seen this. Sure.
Well, it's
why'd they
hard
cast a British guy who can't do a Southern accent?
Well, the thing about World War II movies, though, is like, you know, how they point out all the different guys from all the different backgrounds, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, though, that's all the army was made of. Were those guys.
No, the army...
Well, I mean...
Yeah, true.
Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there isn't more diversity to it, but, like, you know, there was a draft, right? And everyone comes from, like, the similar immigrant backgrounds when you think about it. Like, a lot of those kids who got drafted and the adults who also joined because they thought that it was the right thing to do. It's like, there's only a handful of people. Now, granted, it'd be cool to see... It's like, Hacksaw Ridge sounds cool because the character Andrew Garfield plays is atypical to what you think a actual soldier in World War II is, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, it's like, when you pick the Americans in World War II, it's like, that's what you get. I always wanted to see a World War II movie about that Russian sniper. Who, like...
Which Russian sniper?
He, like, killed, like, almost a whole platoon of Nazis by himself over a period of, like, 3 months, and they never found him.
Are you talking about Enemy at the Gates?
Oh, is that actually a movie? That's sick.
Yeah, I think it was Jude Law.
I think so.
He plays a Russian sniper, and he goes up against a German sniper who's played by Ed Harris. Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. Oh yeah, it was a movie.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm taking a look at it right now. I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out if it's about the if I can find the name, because there was like, the guy's name was out there, and I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. This could be a movie.
Yeah.
Also, there's like a whole bunch of different people in World War II that they could pick. It's just...
Yeah. I mean, it was good, and it was definitely, you saw a lot of Mel Gibson and his directing in it. Gotcha. There was a funny moment where there was this guy in BASIC they called Hollywood. That's what he called himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very in shape, very good looking. And when Garfield walks into BASIC, his barracks, and he picks a bed, Hollywood is doing pull-ups naked. Like completely naked, showing off everything he's got to everyone. He's like, no, not shy. And then Vince Vaughn, who's playing the sergeant, he comes in. He's basically being the atypical drill sergeant. And when he tells them all that they need to go out and do PT, mm-hmm. Hollywood tries to grab his clothes, and he says, "Fuck no, you're not. Get out there." So he does this huge obstacle course in all of PT naked, which I think was interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, that's something I've heard them kind of do in World War II in like the 40s and 50s in the army.
Yeah.
My grandfather told me a story when he was in BASIC. There was a guy that never showered.
Oh my God.
And so they grabbed and pulled him out of the bed and sprayed him with a hose in the shower and scrubbed him with they put like a rag or something like that on like a broom handle and washed him. And then the sergeant came in and said, if you don't start bathing regularly, the next time we will use steel wool. So the guy started bathing.
So, real quick, Jude Law's character is the guy I was talking about. His name is Vasily Zaitsev. Yeah. Interesting enough, I looked down at the references to him.
Uh-huh.
In Destiny, there was a gun called No Land Beyond. It was a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
And apparently it's named after his quote, "For us, there's no land beyond the Volga."
Yeah.
And
nice.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. It's very cool.
Yeah. Hey, Will, speaking of all that, to get back on the bit of game tangent, hey, Will, are you excited about Destiny 2?
I mean, I am. I didn't pre-order it because I don't really have the funds for it right now.
Fair enough.
I am excited about it, but I will say, like, the one thing that there is some negativity towards Destiny 2. It's probably going to be one of the most hyped games for Destiny fans with the least amount of coverage.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, for whatever reason, there is, like, I guess there's just, I don't know, maybe there's just a stigma to it right now that there is nothing new about Destiny 2.
Well, I think people are complaining about that, and they got rid of a few things that people really liked.
I mean, there's some very extreme changes. I will definitely say that. And I'm in the boot camp of I'm not a big fan of those changes.
And enlighten me. What the hell are those changes? Why are people upset?
The most extreme changes are to your weapon loadouts. So in the previous Destiny, you had a primary, a secondary, and a heavy weapon. Your primary was one of a handful of rifles or Magnum. In your sidearms, you had shotgun, sniper rifle, plasma gun, and sidearm pistol, which is it worked different than the primary magnums. Different fire rates, And actually, the whole thing about the secondaries is they were all elemental. And heavies range from rocket launchers, your swords, the one legendary heavy plasma, LMG, so that kind of gambit. So the secondary slot doesn't exist anymore. It's just the elemental primary slot. So you have a primary weapon and an elemental primary. Which means a lot of the weapons that got lumped into the secondary grouping, shotgun, sniper, I think plasma, have now been dumped into heavy weapon slot. That is pissed off a lot of players.
Yeah.
Because
Bungie started the whole 2-weapon thing with Halo.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first games I remember doing that, with like you only have 2 weapons.
Yeah.
That's fine, it's realistic, but it's the future. And Gears of War had 4. I like how it did it. You had your gun on your hip, your pistol.
Yeah,
and then you had you had 2 other primaries, which like the assault rifles or the sniper or shotgun.
Yeah,
and then you had your grenades, and it's like, well, that's I've seen soldiers in real life, like they have more than 2 guns on them.
Oh yeah,
more than 2 things to carry. A person, if they have a backpack, can carry a lot.
Yep.
And you're telling me futuristic soldiers who have superpowers can't fucking carry more than 2 things?
They can carry 3 guns. That is the total amount of guns they can carry. They can carry a primary weapon, a elemental primary weapon, and a heavy. And for some reason, shotgun and sniper rifle have now been subjugated to primary, or sorry, to heavy weapon. I mean, but hey,
but they're heavy.
Okay, we got SMGs finally in the game. They exist in the primary slots, right? That's fun.
So you're getting a lot of things lumped into the same category when they're not in the same category. Because a sniper and a shotgun could not be further different.
Right, and here's the kind of killer in it all. So in the heavy slots, you have sniper rifle, you have shotgun, you also still have LMG, rocket launcher, and sword, and now you also have grenade launcher in that slot as well. It's like, but shotgun and sniper, they don't even come close to heavy weapons.
Yeah.
When our comparison to heavy weapons is an LMG, a rocket launcher, a grenade launcher, and a fucking sword, sniper rifle and shotgun seem a little in the weird slot.
Yeah, that's wrong. Why? Oh, I mean, I really don't get why designers or anyone changes the formula that much.
So, I comprehend what their thought process is on this. PvP was kind of a great experience in Destiny 1. People really loved it.
Right.
And one of the kind of problem areas in it was a lot of the balancing. And some of the issues came from the secondary weapons. Shotgun and sniper rifle kind of being some of the biggest problem childs. And their kind of their thought process on balancing was to shift them into a slot where ammo is a lot more scarce. And I get that, but god damn, when we are comparing, it's like comparing apples and oranges. They're just not even close.
Yeah, they're not close. They're not. It doesn't make any sense. And it's also like, I for one don't really care for PvP. Mm-hmm. But to me, the draw of Destiny isn't PvP. It's the PvE with your friends.
Yeah, it's the PvE with your friends, and then the PvP portion of it is just something fun you can do on the side that doesn't require you to be an amazing player. Like, it's an experience you can have in that in between. But fuck, man, come up with a better concept of balancing. Like, I mean, one of the biggest contributors to a lot of the annoyance with it was a Titan wielding in their primary a legendary shotgun that goes in the primary slot, Go figure why that exists. And then running it with a secondary elemental shotgun. And one of the perks Titans can have is it affects shotguns, and it affected both of them. So it's like, okay, well, that's kind of your bad for making a shotgun that kind of caused a lot of this when that shotgun was in the primary slot. They also did it with No Land Beyond, which is a sniper rifle that exists in the primary slot.
Then they should have... I mean, it's a bad way to do it, but they should have made weapons that are for the classes specifically.
I mean, there are...
That would have helped the balancing, but I don't know.
There is some of that. There are weapons that are strictly better if a particular class uses them.
Right, but I'm saying, like, make it so they can only use it.
Yeah,
a Titan can only wield this weapon, and a Warlock can only.
I think that creates another.
It does, but it does, but at the same time, like, it would help with their balancing issue. But at the same time, I'm talking they should have done that in Destiny 1.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely should have been a Destiny 1 fix, and they totally didn't.
But they should not have fucked with that kind of formula just to balance PvP.
Yeah, I don't
get why PvP gets so much play, and it's like this crap. Like, oh, we want to be a competitive sport. That's not your fucking game. All right, no one's. It's like, I don't get, like, oh, we want to be in esports. Then make a different game.
I will say that it's probably not the dominating factor, but I will say it had some play into it. It is annoying that I am kind of like I didn't sit down and play the beta at all, because I'll be real with you, that was like an impossibility to get onto a fucking server. I watched more people sit and wait and pray than actually play the game.
Right.
I really hope that the beta, like the feedback from the beta, really changes how things are. I'm not gonna hold my breath though. I'm kind of glad that I'm not getting the game right away. It gives it time to kind of, patch itself up, get to kind of a more stable ground, and then I can go ahead and pick it up. Suffice it that I have a job. I am excited, but I'm also like
miffed.
Yeah, I mean, I was miffed when I found out that they had shifted guns around, that they'd gotten rid of primary, secondary, and heavy as kind of weapon slots, and that certain weapons went into a category that just don't make sense. I hope that's been addressed, and I hope that's been fixed. I hope to see like them exist. Those weapons solely exist in the elemental primary slot, because I again, just go back to the primary, secondary, heavy. It was fine. It worked. The formula was fine. Don't make me go, oh, I need a sniper rifle, but this grenade launcher is just 1,000% more fun. Like, don't fucking do that to me, game. Or, oh, I need a shotgun because I'm in close quarters. But I really love how much I burn through ammo in this LMG. I'm gonna choose the LMG. It's louder and cooler than I rounded a corner and blapped a guy in the face. Cool. Felt good.
Esports to me is just like people are viewing it wrong. Like it like a lot of people. Oh, this will sell the games. Like, no, it'll put butts in seats so people can watch pros play. But I don't think you're going to sell your game more.
Oh no! But by that point, the game's already has a following. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. So Dawn of War 3, which I still haven't gotten, and I'd like to try it out. But the reason why that game has done so poorly review-wise, and why fans are hating it, is because they took what Dawn of War 2 was and Dawn of War 1 and tried to combine it, but it failed. And it also, apparently, the levels, the campaign, are designed more like a MOBA than anything else.
That's weird.
You're kind of on a path. And then I found out later the reason why they did all that is so they can have Dawn of War 3 be part of the esports scene. That's not the game for esports. It's just not.
Yeah, when you're comparing it to like games that have already been doing it well for a long time, StarCraft 2, like just don't do it.
It's just, I mean, they had something really great with 1, and they had something really great with 2, and I really liked 2. I like what they did with 2. I like the squad action. I
liked 2. I definitely
prefer 1.
I preferred 1 more.
Yeah.
But I think 2, once I started playing it more, it grew on me. It is unfortunate that 3 just kind of did not do so hot.
Yeah, it just hasn't, and it's really disappointing to hear that they screwed up. I mean, hearing that kind of makes me very hesitant about Age of Empires 4, which we talked about, because Relic is doing that.
Yeah,
but we'll see. I mean, we're not going to see anything from. We're not going to see anything for that for like another year and a half.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we'll probably see something next E3, but we won't see anything anytime soon.
Right.
But yeah, I hate it when games do that. Just to appeal to like barely a % of the actual players. It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's marginal on what you need. Like you just don't need to focus on that shit.
Yeah, well, it's like when COD came out and it was really big and it was really popular because it had this really instant and everyone can pick up multiplayer. So every developer was like, "Oh, well, every game needs multiplayer now." No, it doesn't. It's this small little group that has this huge megaphone, and I hate it.
Like, I am all right with multiplayer if it is small or if it's inclusive, but most multiplayer is very it's very counter to what a single player experience is like. Yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah, but who the fuck knows? I don't know what people are doing. Mm-hmm. There are games I'm looking forward to that are coming up, like Cuphead.
Yep, Cuphead's gonna look fun. You know, it's very much that single player experience.
It's very different.
It's coming up.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah, for sure. It's coming out for everything, I think, too.
I think so, yeah. I know
very
it's on.
Smart.
I definitely
Get on
know
those
it was
platforms.
on Switch. I saw that, and that was cool.
It's on the Switch?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on the Switch.
Yeah, it should
Switch
be.
needs games. Yeah. Switch needs games. So.
I mean, it definitely needs more IPs, and you know, a good few right now. If Zelda ain't your cup of tea, is definitely Mario Kart Deluxe and Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That game is very cool and very hard in its own right.
Is your opinion of Odyssey?
It still looks like a giant trash can of a game. Okay. I still have very, very negative opinions of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's just give me Mario Galaxy 3 as opposed to that game.
Another Mario Galaxy would have been better.
Yeah, my hat should not have eyes, and there should be no humans. Yeah. This is about the Mushroom Kingdom and the Kingdom people. But that's okay. Support Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Don't look at Odyssey as a game. It's fine. Yeah. You'll be a happier person.
There's one thing that I want to talk about. So Shadow of War, they put out this new trailer, and it was what was it? It was called Forthog the Orc Slayer.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it was this big burly dude. I think he was a dwarf. I don't know what he is per se. And he kind of comes out of nowhere when you're fighting. The gameplay is like fighting this orc, and he gets wounded, and he's about to die. And then this thing comes out of nowhere and kills the orc.
All right.
And it's called Forgoth the Orc Slayer. And it goes through this whole video. This guy, and the face is very humanish, and it's like almost recognizable. And it fights a bunch of orcs, and he's got this like club axe thing. I think it's also a guitar, like a lute. I don't know. And he just starts killing orcs, and it's really badass. Well, apparently, this is a downloadable character or thing that you can get in the game.
All right.
And it is a dedication to Mike Forgy. I think that's how you pronounce it. I apologize for butchering his name. But he apparently died of cancer. And this is how Monolith is like remembering him. They say that every $3.50 that are for every game that's bought, $3.50 will be going to the family of Mike.
That's nice.
To help with everything. He's worked on a ton of shit. Gears of War, Shadow of Mordor, Shadow War. I mean, I can look up his resume. He's been around, but it sucks that cancer got him.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna pick that up.
Yeah.
That character because it looked really cool, and it's my cup of tea. This big burly thing with these cool tats and this fucking weird ass weapon. I'll play it. So,
yeah,
but yeah, I thought that
cool.
was kind of neat. I like it when games kind of put people to remember them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I think WoW has done that with a few things.
There's plenty of tributes.
Yeah, there's a lot of tributes in it. I like it. I like this tribute. This tribute's cool. I think
it's a very sweet one.
Yeah, look up that trailer if you guys
I saw it.
Who's ever listening. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Oh yeah, about Cuphead, I was wrong. It is strictly for Xbox One and Microsoft Windows.
Oh really?
It's only for Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I apparently have to get it and tell you guys how it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
definitely.
Yeah. It's not coming to Steam or anything?
It does not look like it.
It might get ported later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. That's a game that should be everywhere, I think.
I mean, you definitely would want it everywhere because it'd be very good.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm running out of time. What?
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say. Oh yeah, no. It's only through Microsoft that you can get Cuphead. That's what Steam is saying.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
Okay. Yeah. Damn as it breaks.
Exactly.
Well, is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
I got nothing else.
No, I think we covered a lot of stuff, so we're good for here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll call it a podcast there, an episode.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you for listening. Please like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe on iTunes. If you're on Facebook, give us a comment or a share. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, do all that stuff. And be on the lookout for a bigger thing soon. I keep saying that. Be on the lookout. All right. With that, we're out. Later.
Deuces, y'all.
Later days.